Hello Flickering Myth family and welcome to our channel. My name is EJ and we have a brand new horror movie to talk about. This year has been jam-packed, especially from one studio, Neon. Wow, we have a lot to talk about from the studio and about this movie. We are diving into the new film, Cuckoo. My goodness, like I said in the beginning of this video, we've had quite the year with Neon. Immaculate, Long Legs, Shelby Oaks, which doesn't come out for some time, and now we have Cuckoo. I was looking forward to this movie, actually almost the most out of the bunch, which sadly it turned out to be one of my least favorite of the bunch. That still does not mean I think this movie's bad or that I hate this movie. I actually quite like it. I just don't think it's stronger. It's as strong as the other Neon outings that we've seen this year. But still, Cuckoo is a weird, delirious trip of a movie that I had quite a good time with. It struggles, I feel like, at times where I kept being like, so what's the point? Like, what's the thesis statement of this movie? We get the weird plot. I understand the parasitic, cuckoo bird people. I get what they're doing with the family stuff. I understood, like, the plot of this movie. That wasn't that hard to get. But I kept being like, what's the workings of this? Why are we doing this? What is the message of this movie? All of that just didn't hit with me or didn't sit with me as much as something like Long Legs or Shelby Oaks. Those both spoke to me very, easily, and I understood them. Cuckoo, I just was like, this is a great movie. I love watching Hunter Schafer get her ass beat and still kick ass. This woman, Hunter Schafer has been been a big fan since Euphoria, and I've liked seeing her in other things. I hated that Hunger Games movie, but I liked her in it. So to see her in this role and just to be this, I would almost say a victim, but she plays it so well that I felt like, yeah, she's getting her ass whooped in this movie, but she's also still strong, still wanting to make things right, still wanting to help her family. I thought that was one of the, maybe that's the message of it, is how strong family could be, even if things are a bit, your family members could be a bit weird, could be a bit cuckoo, but we should still love and respect the ones that we care about the most, the ones that care about us. So yeah, overall, I liked the movie, I liked the vibe, I just didn't connect with it. It just didn't sit with me. And as we get into the explanation part, you might be able to see why. It's weird. It's a lot happening at once. This is, we have the weird hood lady. We have the whole idea of the people in the woods. We have the creepy doctor played by Dan Stevens. Oh, Dan Stevens this year, my goodness, he has been on a roll of strange, fun, odd roles as well. Yeah, overall, I like the actors, I like the idea. It just didn't hit me as hard as other movies, but let's get into the explanation and figure out what the hell happened in Cuckoo. So to try to sum up, Cuckoo would be pretty hard, trying to explain all the nitty-gritty details, so I'm going to give you an overview as detailed as I can get with what I have. So Hunter Schafer is a woman named Gretchen. She is trying to figure out life now. Her mother has passed away. She's now living with her father, her stepmother, and her half-sister Alma. Alma is a bit strange. She's mute. It's not really easy to vibe with Alma. So they go to the German Alps. They end up at this kind of resort facility, medical place, we end up learning, run by Dr. I don't know his name, but Dan Stevens' creepy ass character doing amazing German accent, doing amazing German, speaking. Dan Stevens, again, what is up with you this year? Why are you so damn good? So we're kind of watching all of this unfold. We're meeting, new patients named Ed. We have Henry, who's a detective investigating some of the murders that have been happening. The murders, you mean? Yeah, there is a hooded woman in the woods that, the bike sequence where she's chasing Hunter Schafer through it, oh my goodness. So yeah, we have the hooded woman. We don't know much about this character at first, and we soon to find out that she's like a parasitic, half-human hybrid thing that they're making in the Alps to... I don't know why they're making them. The experimentation part, the why these things exist, never really made sense to me, never really sat with me. But yes, we have the hooded woman who is part of this clan of people, and she basically wants Gretchen, but that's what Gretchen thinks. It turns out she wants Alma, who is actually her real daughter. She was conceived here while the family went on a trip at one point. Again, you're kind of like, oh, sure, that makes total sense. So yeah, we're basically watching Gretchen try to figure out this mystery, solve this. Why does the hooded lady look like Audrey Hepburn in the movie Charade? We don't really know. But yeah, we're trying to figure out all this out, and Hunter Schafer's character is going through it. I mean, from the now, I think one of the best sequences of the movie is the bike chase scene, to just overall the end of the movie where she's getting her ass whooped. This whole time, you're just like, girl, I would leave. Like, I know you want to help your sister and your dad's here for a little bit and you're trying to figure it all out, but girl, leave because this is not working for you.
What stops is calling.
Look, we have time loops caused by the screeching that throws people off and causes seizures like Alma has. We also have the time loops. All of that's happening. But to me, the strangest part is finding out that basically these like half-human hybrid things are being placed around the world in different families until they can come back and kind of reign free. We're seeing a lot of these kind of creature monster things. We actually have Gretchen getting locked into one when she confronts the doctor. She figures out the whole mystery of what's going on. She confronts him and she has to deal with one of them, handles that efficiently. But I mean, look, the hooded woman's even trying to put mysterious gross slime into her, which is that parasitic thing. Again, much like these birds. I didn't know I had to be into, like, bird watching to really understand the movie. So yes, Gretchen, again, is trying to figure out her way through this, kicks some ass, and it's basically down to, like, her family's missing. It's down to her and the doctor. But the doctor is also dealing with the detective as well. Thank goodness Henry is here to be the only person who wants to listen to her. Like, we also have Ed, who's the other patient. Like, I'm glad Gretchen is one of these characters that isn't just screaming where no one is hearing her. No one's listening to her. The family's a bit like that, but it makes me feel better about this character that she isn't, just because I kept being like, oh God, is none of this real? Is none of this real? Don't go one of those routes. And I love that it actually turned out to be real. Her and Henry were right. Henry and the doctor end up killing themselves, and this big kind of battle at the end, just trying to make everything right. Sometimes I'm like, Henry, why are you here? Like, I get it, you're a detective, you're trying to figure it out, but, like, you're risking your life, as you do, to do this. My goodness. So, yeah, that's kind of, like, the basis of it. We have these, like, parasitic people here. I don't understand how they're created or what they're made for, again, their point, but they are passing this, like, slimy things to other people, and that's kind of how they mix around. And, Alma wants, the mom wants Alma, and at one point I would have been like, I don't know. Alma, go with your creepy mom, because I cannot handle all the weirdness that you are throwing out. I think one of the more interesting details, like I said, before Henry and the doctor off themselves, they're basically finding out that Henry says, I need to kill the parasitic hooded mother and also Alma. Gretchen's not dealing with that. She loves her sister. Like I said, I would have left my sister behind, but I get the sisterly love. And we do find out that Alma does help Gretchen at the end when they're about to get captured. We think everything's done. The doctors are done. There's still people at the facility. Gretchen gets her ears covered by Alma. Alma lets out that scream and disorients everybody, gets them out of there. They reunite with Ed, who is like this patient that's there who's recovering. Ed got his ass whooped too. Everyone got their ass whooped in this movie. This movie is equal opportunity ass whooping. I know Hunter Schafer is like the bandage emoji by the end of this movie, where she is just gone through all of it. But again, I feel like this character is so interesting because she does it for the love of her sister. I understand. But she's also just a strong character who's just like, I need to get out of this. What is going on? So we see Ed, Alma, and Gretchen leave at the end of this movie. With Alma running around, all the families have different ones. Like, this story isn't over, which is something I liked. It kind of reminded me of the end of Long Legs, where you're like, oh, all of our heroes are walking away safe, but what are the implications? What are we doing? What's going on? I like that this ending isn't just everything in a happy bow. It wasn't like all of the weird, parasitic, cuckoo people are dead because of this one thing. No, we still have, this universe is still messed up. Things are not perfect. And I think that's what makes this ending so, it hits hard, but it also hits you hard when you start thinking about it, being like, my goodness, how many people have done this? What is the routine of this? I wish the movie would have went into a little bit more detail. I would have liked a backstory, like comparative to Long Legs, where I'm like, I don't care how he made the doll people. I don't care about the balls in the head. I didn't need those details. This movie, I actually would have liked just a little bit more details, just to get a bit more fleshed out. I like this universe. I like the world, but I felt like everything was at an arm's distance. This director is very strong. I just felt like you were keeping me away because maybe the script wasn't going to be as fleshed out. Once we got into that, maybe you were running out of ideas of what to do. I can't really put my finger on it why I felt like this movie didn't want me to get too close to it. It was like, no, stay over here. It's weird and wacky. Don't get too involved in it. Because once I start thinking about it, once I'm like, this movie was weird. The time loops, I couldn't figure it out. I was kept waiting for like a trick ending, and I'm kind of glad the ending was as easy as it was, because as complicated as this movie could have been, it could have been much worse with a more delirious ending. But the ending is strong. It gets me to where I need to go with this story, but also leaves me going, ooh, how dark and deep does this world get? This movie has parasitic eggs being put into people. It has time loops. It has a sisterly bond that I ended up liking. Like I said, I would have left Alma in the woods, but maybe Alma is more human now than ever before with the love and the help of Gretchen. You know, Gretchen would have never helped Alma out like this in the beginning of the movie, so I did like their sisterly journey. I did like what this movie was trying to say, but again, it's weird. There's a lot of details. Remember that weird family we saw at the beginning of the movie? There's just a lot of stuff here that I'm like, I feel like we could have scaled some things back and put more details into the other departments, but overall, Cuckoo is a fun, weird outing, and again, we just need more weird movies like this every now and then that has no explanation, no details you need, just weirdness on top of weirdness, and I enjoyed that this movie even exists. What did you guys think of this video? What do you guys think of Cuckoo? Did you see it this weekend? Share your thoughts down in the comments below. Did you get the mystery? Did you understand Alma was going to be one of the weird, creepy people? What did you think of the hooded woman? I want to know all your details down below. What are your feelings? What are your thoughts? Share them down below. Like I said, subscribe to Flickering Myth, give us a thumbs up, and let's talk about Cuckoo and Neon's great releases this year right down there.